Hey, it's Jeff at BassFromRockstar.com, and today I'm going to show you a little bit of guitar maintenance. I was playing and my bar broke. So I'm going to show you how to get the broken piece out of the bridge, which is jammed into there. You can see the piece of metal blocking the hole there. But I'm going to show you a couple other tricks too, as far as bridge maintenance. One thing I'm going to teach you is how to reduce noise, and also the ring that these bridges can sometimes create. So you can hear that ring. Hear that spring noise? Anyway, you may not be able to hear it, but I'm going to teach you how to get rid of it. So let's start by pulling out the bridge. I use 5 springs in mine because I use 11 to 52 strings, I should say. So I need to offset the string tension with the extra springs. It limits my whammy stunts a little bit. I can, do what you guys can do mostly, but I can't balance the bridge and stuff like some of the 80s guitar players did, or still do. Some of you guys still do it. Anyway, the cricket noise I'm talking about. So I'm going to pull the springs out. So let's just zoom in on this here. I'm just using a pair of snips here to just grab the spring. I'm not pinching. Okay, so the springs are out. Okay, here comes the bridge. Carefully, don't scratch your body, and we'll set the guitar aside. Okay, so here's the bridge. You got a few parts that I'm going to be dealing with today. The first thing you do when you take your bridge, or when you know you're going to take your bridge out, make sure you tighten these screws here. Okay, there's little blocks inside that hold the strings in place, and if these are loose and you take your strings out and then you pull the bridge out, when you flip it over, all these little blocks are going to fall out. So good luck getting them back in the right way. There is the rod here, and that's held on by a bolt. And then there's a little screw here, and that's holding in this little spring. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it there. And what happens is when the bar goes in, there's a little groove in the bar, and that's going to pop in, and this little spring is going to hold it in place. Anyway, so the first thing we have to do is take the spring off. So we'll loosen that. Oops, don't lose parts. Like that. I'll pick that up off camera. And then this, I gotta loosen the bolt here. And this is coming all the way off. Okay, now this is where you need a flathead screwdriver. I got a pretty long one here. And so that's to hold that in place while you unscrew it. I'm going to do this off camera here. Hang on. Okay, so I've got this screwdriver in there and I'm just propping it. I don't have a socket wrench deep enough to clear the rod here, so actually that's loosened off. Now it's just coming nicely. There we go. Okay, the bolt is off. Now I have to take this. I don't actually have to take this off. I'm going to show you something though. I'm going to unscrew this as well. So let's go back to the table shot, so then you can see everything against a white background. Okay, so I'm unscrewing this. Oops. This way. See, I'm taking that rod out. Okay, so now it's clear. That's free and clear. So I got to get the old broken bar piece out of there. Okay, I'm going to just take that skinny little Allen key and push it in there. Oops. And here it comes. There we go. Now, I'm not going to throw this piece out. I'm going to keep these little plastic washers because they're hard to find. I mean, they're not hard to find. They're just not convenient. You're not going to be able to get them at the local guitar shop. You can order them on eBay, right? So I've taken the little plastic washers off, and I'm going to keep those because they wear out, and so you'll need them for the next one. Okay, so now this bar, broken, without the washers, is now going to go in the garbage. That one's done. Okay, so now I have to put this back together. The first thing that I do though, before I put that back in, the tape that I've got around here, you know, all metal has a certain ring to it. And so I wrapped electrical tape around this a few times, you know, 3 or 4 times. And, you know, I think that this is my own theory, but I think that by doing that, I'm eliminating some of the metallic ring that comes off this bridge. So the reason I use electrical tape is because you can peel it off and it doesn't leave residue. If you leave duct tape, or if you use duct tape or anything like that, it might leave residue on the bridge. So anyway, that's my theory. So the first thing I do is wrap that, and then I'm going to put this back together. So this goes in here. Again, I'm threading it back in. Okay, and I'm just going to tighten that with the screwdriver. Try not to strip it. Okay, and then I'm going to put the bolt back on. Try and do this efficiently. Okay, and tighten that. Okay, the spring goes back in there. You can see actually here, I'll show you the spring. There's the little spring there, and it has to line up inside this hole right there. So this is going on here. And the screw's going to go in there. And little thumbs today. There we go. Just grab my screwdriver. Okay, now it wiggles side to side. You can see that. I want it to be perfectly centered before I tighten that, because if it's off to the side, it's not going to grab the bar. So I'm tightening that up. Okay, and if you look at that, you can see how the spring goes right down the center. Okay, so it's not twisted or anything. And that's basically it. So now we have to put this back in the guitar. Grab this. Again, be very careful to line up your pins. Make sure that it's sitting in there properly. And then flip it over. And like I said, I use 5 springs because I use the 11 to 52 strings. I thought of going to 11 to 46, or sorry, 10 to 46, but I haven't committed to that yet. I tried the Dean Markley, or sorry, not Dean Markley, the Ernie Ball Slinky 10 to 46, and absolutely hated them. You know what? This spring's got more tension, so I'm going to put it in the middle. Oh yeah. Okay. Now, again, you know, we're trying to eliminate spring noise, so I'm going to, I take one of these. This little piece of cloth is actually, when you buy like an Apple device, you get like a little cleaning cloth. So I just fold it in 8, in half, and in half again, like that. And it doesn't stick, it won't get stuck in between the springs or anything. There's my Steve Vai Band autographed guitar plate. Pretty cool, eh? That's a Vi, Philip Bino. Oh, that's Fire Vi right there. And Jeremy, the drummer. Okay, so that goes on there like that. And in goes the screws. And I'm ready to restring. Okay. Something I learned from Thomas Nordyke, which is Steve Vai's guitar tech. I learned this from him when I was at Vi Academy, which is where I got all these signed, by the way. Was to use Velcro as a quick, a quick way to open your channel. I'm missing a screw. There it is. As a quick way to have access to this panel. Once I've set my springs, though, I don't generally need to open the back, and unless something happens like a broken bar, I don't bother. Okay, so the bridge is back in and the plate's back on, and I'm ready to string this thing. I'm going to show you that as well. I'm only going to do one string because I'm sure all you guys know how to put a set of strings on, but I'm going to explain the way I wind them. I do it for a couple of ways. One, so that it reduces slipping. I use a locking nut anyway, so it's not that critical. But the way I wind them, I leave a little bit of extra on, and that way when I break a string, whenever you break a string, it always happens down here, right off the saddle. So you can just loosen off your screw, pull out the little broken piece, and slide your string down and pop it in, and it saves you a set of strings. I'm not a touring musician, and most people aren't. So, strings get expensive, so I'm going to show you how to reduce that. Anyway, I hope you got something out of that lesson. A little bit of bridge maintenance for you. All right, we'll see you next time.